Hi guys, and welcome to this latest review that I hope you'll enjoy. So today what I have here is iFi's Zen Blue. Now you might remember that I just recently reviewed Zen DAC that you can see on the right side. And the difference is, well, there are several differences that I'll get into later, but the most important one that this is not just a usual DAC, it's actually Bluetooth streamer. And it is also a DAC, it has integrated DAC inside, but the main thing you should know about it, and I'll show you that just in a moment. Okay, I still haven't removed this part. So the main thing that you can see here is there is actually just one way to connect your music, your source to Zen Blue, and it's Bluetooth, only wirelessly. You can see here optical and coaxial, but they are not inputs, they're actually outputs, so you can pass digital signal to external DA converter. That said, as I mentioned, Zen Blue already have integrated DAC inside. So as you can see, there are RCA outputs, single-ended, and balanced 4.4 millimeters plug. And this is a small switch that you can use to choose. Do you want to use your digital outputs or analog outputs? Okay, so let's turn it around and talk a little bit more about its features and functionality. Okay, so let me quickly turn it on. Okay, here it is. So as you can see, there is no power switch. This is not it. This is something different. And immediately when you connect it to power, it's blinking blue and red. That actually means it's waiting to be paired with a Bluetooth device. And for that purpose, I'll just quickly use my phone here. I already previously paired Zen Blue with my phone, so I hope, yeah, that was quick, as you can see. It's already paired. Now, you can see this middle circle is purple currently. And what that actually means, aptX HD is currently used to connect my phone to Zen Blue. If you choose some other method, this central circle will light differently. So let me try it for a moment. I choose LDAC. Okay, you can see color is changing. Now it's connected through LDAC protocol. So now it's a good moment to mention that Zen Blue actually supports basically all Bluetooth codecs that I can remember currently. aptX, aptX HD, LDAC, AAC for those of you using Apple products, so on and so on. I cannot remember all of them currently, but I tried several of them, and every time it works great, connection was stable, and to be honest, I didn't notice, for example, any different sound quality using aptX HD or LDAC. Now the sound quality was more dependent on my source material or on some other things I'll mention later, but not on the Bluetooth protocol, so I wouldn't give it too much thought. Just use the one your device is providing, and that's just most convenient for you. And if you need to pair it to another device, you just hold this button. I will not do it currently. Hold it several seconds and it will start blinking again, waiting to be paired with another device. Okay, so now let's talk about sound quality. First of all, I tried using Zen Blue connected to my phone, playing some CD quality files, high resolution files, listening my title stream, and I firstly listened its analog outputs. I just connected Zen Blue directly to my integrated amp, Cyrus, with KEF LS50 speakers. And inside of the Blue there is a Saber DAC chip. I'm not sure about the exact model, but they call it Hyperstream. Basically, it's the heart of analog section. And what I heard was really detailed and quite well balanced sound. Now, it has that upfront type of presentation that you might be familiar with if you use the other Sabre products, especially at this price range. And bass is quick and firm. Mid-range is present and, as I said again, upfront, and you get a lot of high frequency details. But what's interesting is when I compare its analog output with Zen DAC, I heard some differences, especially regarding sound signature, maybe not as much in quality as in sound signature. So Zen DAC here sounds a little bit more weighty and slightly warm, maybe not warm, but definitely more smooth and fluid, while Zen Blue is sounding more upfront and kinda edgy, sharp. So listening some same songs switching back and forth, I realized that I probably prefer Zen DAC's sound quality. It's just a little bit more relaxed, it has a little bit more depth, and I kinda liked it more, but I can imagine some of you preferring this upfront, more showy presentation of Zen Blue. An interesting thing is that you cannot actually, this looks like a stack, but you cannot connect Blue to Zen DAC in any way, because Zen DAC only accepts USB input, and digital outputs on Zen Blue are Toslink optical and coaxial. So these two simply don't work together. You can use them separately, but not together in any way. But back to Blue here, it's definitely a very good sounding device on its own, on its analog outputs. It reminds me more on some other DACs that I reviewed and also liked, for example Logi D10. If you remember when I reviewed Zen DAC, I mentioned that DAC is more laid back and has more feeling of depth, and Logi D10 is more upfront and in-your-face type of sound. Same goes for Zen Blue here, it's that type of sound. It's good on its own, it's perfectly fine. If you don't compare it to anything else, you will probably not even notice that character. It's just a matter of taste and different approach, that's it. Now, moving to digital outputs, which is very interesting, because even though Zen Blue is using fairly standard Qualcomm Bluetooth receiver chip, iFi is claiming that they optimized circuitry around it and chose high-quality components to give you higher than usual fidelity from a Bluetooth signal. And to test that claim, I basically used my Topping D50S. Okay, so as you can see, it has Bluetooth antenna too, and it has integrated Bluetooth receiver. So it was very convenient for this test because Topping D50 has coaxial and optical inputs, so I could connect Zen Blue here directly digitally to Topping D50S. And then I compared D50's internal Bluetooth with the sound when Bluetooth is received with Zen Blue and just passed to D50 and use D50 as a DAC. And one more thing to mention is that D50S here is actually a better DAC than Zen Blue is. D50S has higher quality analog outputs and higher fidelity sound. And if you remember from D50S review, I said Bluetooth sounded okay. By okay, I mean, yeah, like that. It's okay, it's not perfect. It doesn't sound as sharp and revealing and incisive as wired connection when you connect it with USB or any other digital input. But it was acceptable for non-critical listening. So I was curious when I connect Zen Blue, will it actually increase or maybe decrease sound quality. And I switched back and forth using internal Bluetooth and using Zen Blue's Bluetooth, passing it through optical cable to D50S. And I was actually surprised, but Zen Blue sounded quite better than internal Bluetooth receiver. I didn't expect that. I was thinking probably one more cable, one more link to add some sort of noise or problems or anything, but it was the opposite. Zen Blue sounded better. And I switched back and forth, testing if I'm hearing it right, but there was no mistake. The one on topping D50S, its internal Bluetooth, sounds muddier. It's more soft. It blurs things. But if I use Zen Blue, it's much more closer to real wired connection. Everything gets a little bit more dynamic, clean. Leading edges are having more energy and more bite, and also the sound has more weight. Bass is definitely weightier through Zen Blue. And that made me realize that iFi's claims about optimizing Bluetooth circuitry and offering more than average Bluetooth sound quality were true actually. It was definitely an improvement and step up from integrated D50S connection. And as I said, it was a good device to test that because it is even better DAC itself than Zen Blue. And that kind of connection, Zen Blue to topping D50S to my integrated amp, definitely sounded better than just analog outputs of Zen Blue. And that leads me to a very interesting conclusion. This is a very specific device. Its only input is Bluetooth. Regarding outputs, you can choose analog, which is as good as any other DAC at this price. Basically, it's quite detailed, it's quite well controlled, quite balanced. But if you connect Zen Blue digitally to other even better DAC, I tried D50S as I mentioned. I also connected it to Burson Playmate, which is even more expensive DAC and better sounding DAC. And it sounded really great, definitely better than its analog outputs. So I guess it may attract two types of users. First one would be, I will use it as my main DAC group of people that like comfort of their smartphone being connected directly to Zen Blue and Zen Blue directly to some sort of integrated amp or active speakers or something like that. It's a perfectly decent sound. But the other group of potential users of Zen Blue, I think might be people that are already having very decent DAC without Bluetooth connection. So, for example, I mentioned Burson Playmate. It's a really good DAC, I like it. It's a DAC preamp headphone amp, but it doesn't have Bluetooth. So, if you want to add that functionality, instead of changing your whole DAC, which you like and it's great already, you can just connect Zen Blue to it through optical or coaxial connection, depending which one it supports. And in that case, Zen Blue will provide really high quality Bluetooth connection and sound quality. And that kind of approach with separate devices serving for different purposes is more expensive, but then again, it's definitely higher quality than when you, for example, as I said, use something with integrated Bluetooth like topping D50S here. It is very convenient, it's all in one device, but its Bluetooth connection cannot compare to Zen Blue plus really nice DAC. So that would be it for today, guys. Thank you for watching, and please leave comments. How do you feel about Bluetooth connection? Is it something that you would like to use or try in your hi-fi system? Basically, just share a piece of your mind regarding Bluetooth connection. I'm interested to know how audiophiles feel about that. And if you like this video, please subscribe and share it with your friends, and also check my new website because it contains even more in-depth reviews and things that I forgot sometimes to mention in these video reviews. So check it out and see you next time.